Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Congratulations to the 47th President of the United States, Dr. Cornel West. I am here with my guest, but before let my guest introduce himself, remember those of you that watch me on Tuesdays and Thursdays, there's no advertising of my channel. This show is specifically about getting the best presidential candidate out there to the White House. That's all we'll talk about. That's what we're going to discuss. Um, Remember to visit the website at cornelwest2024.com where you can volunteer, you can donate, and learn more about Dr. West. And with that, I'm just going to let my guest introduce himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades, friends, DJ Pinhead, host of the Center Podcast. I'm here with Tracy Carson. Excited to be with you today. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really looking forward to it. When you put out the beacon that you wanted people to come up, I'm not gonna lie, I checked out your channel and then I shot you an email immediately.
You did. It was really fast. I'm like, this is the fastest response I've ever gotten. Wow, he must be really desperate.
Nah, it's not that. You have no idea. Like, I'm I got a lot going on. Like, I got 3 jobs. I'm a full-time dad. Like, I got all that going on. Plus, I do my podcast from like I work on my podcast if and when I get the time from like 12 to 2 a.m. That's like prime time. I'm up from 12 to 2 a.m. working on my podcast. So right now I'm writing a bunch of content. So I was like, this is a good way for me to kind of get back into my groove. I put out a couple of episodes in January and took all of Black History Month off because I believe that we shouldn't work on Black History Month. I have to pay my bills, so I work on my regular job. But for the other stuff, no, not at all. Like the podcast, all that stuff. So we kicking it off pretty heavy for the month of March. I got like 4 episodes lined up. And I don't know, man. I was just excited to join. For real.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I will be making a plea for other guests coming up because, as you notice, I started this show off once a month, and then in February, I said no, I'm going to do this every week. I'm just gonna start doing it every week. And if you've watched this podcast before, you know how this works. I normally used to say I take the 5 dumbest things I've ever heard about Dr. West and have our guests talk about it. But now
we're not doing 6.
There are 6 dumb things. And
Okay.
Number 6 is so absolutely, I almost threw my shoe at my television when I heard this foolishness. That's the nicest word I can say, foolishness. So Let's start it off with the one that we all hear the most. A vote for Dr. West is a vote for Donald Trump.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just put my son down. Give me 1 second. I'm so.
So while he's doing that, I'm still looking for guests. So if you are definitely a Cornel West supporter and not a if he gives 5% type of supporter, like you actually want to see him in the White House, then I would definitely invite you to contact me. You can message me on YouTube and I'll get it, and then I can connect with you. You can always email me at tracymcarson74@gmail.com. That's what I'm using for Dr. West. So I said the first one we want to talk about is a vote for Dr. West is a vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I was on the bandwagon for an uncommitted vote probably like a year and a half ago. Dr. West jumped in the race. I genuinely didn't know what I was going to do. Dr. West jumped in the race, and then I felt like I had a place to put my vote. I am in West Virginia, primarily a red state. We don't even have people.
Joe Manchin country.
Joe Manchin's office is like not too far from my house. So I literally I have no real stock. There's not even any Democrats on the ticket. You see what I'm saying? For governor or Congress or any of that stuff. There's hardly any, So for me personally, I do not feel that way. I can see how some people feel that way. I do. Um, I don't share that sentiment. I think this is now the time where we all commit to drastically changing politics in America. So for me, a vote for Dr. West is just a vote for Dr. West. If the Democrats want our vote, they'll fight for our vote. It for me, it's that simple. And I'm in an inconsequential state. For me, it's like voting for Dr. West is like a drop in the budget. It's no real fight. I mean, we're trying hard with ballot access, but if I can be completely straightforward, no, man, I know for a fact I'd never vote for Trump. This is about my vote and where that stands, and I want the Democrats to pay attention. You see what I'm saying? For me, it's not a vote for Trump at all. I'm not even thinking about Trump. I would never vote for Trump. So
I see where you're going. But here's why I bring this one up. One, because that's the one you always hear the most about. The media is really, really good at that argument, right? Because they want you to vote for either Trump or Biden. Like, they'll literally say, these are our only two choices. And I'm like, no, they're not. There's other choices. There's other ways you can actually vote. There's other people running. Dr. West, primarily. That's who you should be voting for, but that's just my opinion. But you don't have to vote for Joe Biden. You really don't. You could literally vote for, I don't know, Dr. Cornel West. I mean, it makes sense to me. But you hear the argument and it's so manufactured. It's such a manufactured. Some people say it like it's a fact. And I'm like, it's not a fact. It's a very short-sighted opinion to me.
I mean, so it's a little bit more complex than that for me, right? So like I grew up in a vote blue no matter who house, and I was paying attention to politics really, really early when I was a kid. So I am well aware of the long tradition of Republicans being grimy. like that. I don't know how else to lay it out. You know what I mean? Especially in a place like New York that's turned more and more and more conservative over time. I mean, people say it's a blue state, but you get up further north, it's much more conservative. I think for me, it's being realistic in those places. So like that's why I say I understand why people do it. It's about being realistic in those places that you are actually where your vote is consequential. Places like Michigan, where that non-committed vote matters. Now, I'm not going to tell those people who want to who have this campaign against Biden that they should go vote for Biden, especially if you got a grandmama in Palestine or something like that. But at the end of the day, I don't fault those who will vote for Biden out of the fear, and I know it's a charged word, but out of the fear of what they know Republicans are capable of. You see what I'm saying? Like, I absolutely understand that line of thinking. Now, me personally, if I was in a state like Michigan or Ohio, one of those places, I'm fighting the tooth and nail to get Dr. West on the ballot because it's the only person I want to vote for. And I primarily care about, like, the reason why I started my channel was primarily to focus on the Supreme Court, voters' rights, and women's rights. And, of course, everything black. Like, you know what I mean? But for me, there's no universe where the Republican ticket and or Trump lines up with that. So if I'm telling you as a Democratic voter that I am, like, I have all this apathy for the party, I have all this anger towards Democrats and what have you, you would think that the Democrats would want to fight even more. So at this point, though, a lot of us are at the place where, like, screw this, we're not voting for either one of you. You see what I'm saying? Like, I understand both lines of thinking. I unfortunately live in West Virginia. I get the benefit of fighting hard for Cornel West and trying to get him on the ballot and making West Virginia much more progressive. But ultimately, I don't understand the line of thinking that it's just a vote for Trump. Yes, it takes away some votes, but the Democrats have complete control over that. Don't put that back in my lap.
Yeah, it's like you could, I don't know, do policies like stop going around Congress to get money to support genocide, advocate for a $15 wage and really mean it. You know, those type of little things that they could do, but they're not going to do that because here's what I think, and we will definitely move on to the second one. I think that the corporate media, because I don't even like to say corporate media because I get an attack of influx. I'm like, ugh. I think they would rather Trump win than Dr. West win. Because when you get somebody
I share that sentiment.
when you get somebody like Dr. West, he actually means what he's saying. Whereas Trump, he'll say one thing in the middle of the sentence, he'll say a whole nother point. You're like, what? Wait a minute, huh? What? I don't understand. So I've always believed that, and you can tell how they just kind of say, "Oh, well, they're spoiling it." It's the voters don't belong to candidates. Candidates have to do this thing called earn votes. So you want to earn them. That's why this is an argument that people will say, and they'll say it like it's a fact. And I'm like, no, you have choices. If you're that upset, don't vote for either one. Now, of course, I want you to vote for Dr. West, but if you just are like, there's other choices that you have.
I feel like a lot of people don't really. Not everybody's like us. Not everybody is gonna get deep involved in politics. Not everybody's gonna talk. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. One more. I'm so sorry. Give me one moment.
And it's such a oh, what am I saying? It's such a conundrum when you watch like the mainstream media, which is why their ratings are going down, because people are tired of listening to them. Oh my goodness. It's like, don't you realize what you sound like when you're saying these things? But
my bad. I have a 3-year-old that I'm dealing with right now, and my wife is at a gala, and I'm trying my best to juggle 8 million things at once. I got a baby shower going on tomorrow. Pardon me, it shouldn't be happening again. But yeah, not everybody is like us. Not everybody focuses on politics all year round. Not everybody's looking for the bill that's going down. Not everybody not everybody's paying attention to legislation and ballot initiatives in their state and local elections like a lot of us do. So I think what ends up happening is they just continue to pump a bunch of money and energy and lifeblood into those voters who are paying attention after Super Tuesday, or paying attention after the State of the Union, paying attention in August. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not really thinking about like, because if they were, the message would be geared more towards people like us who want to solve the problems,
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So point number 2, or I don't want to say dumb, or because I hate to use word stupid, but it's stupid. Now is not the time for Dr. West to run.
When in my opinion, the time was when Barack Obama was running, right? Like when he was helping Barack Obama. That was the best time for him to run. He was youthful, young, and killing. He's a little bit older now. You know what I'm saying? I think as time goes on, it'll be harder and harder for him to secure a good vote. Now, you got people like Bernie and Biden and Trump. They can win for sure, but they're already ingratiated into politics. They're already in the Senate. They're already in Congress. There's an entire system that will back them immediately. I think the time is now for sure for somebody like Dr. West to come in and change and shake things up. And the reason why I believe that wholeheartedly is we do live in the era of Trump. I mean, nobody, including Trump and Trump's family, when you look at that picture of them winning, nobody believes he was going to win. Nobody. I didn't believe he was going to win. My mom didn't believe he was going to win.
I actually thought he was going to win.
Man, if I'd have talked to 100 people when you was in it, you would have been like one of
the
7.
The one of like, look who she picked for look who Hillary picked for vice president. That's when I knew. I said, oh, she ain't winning.
Who did she pick for vice president again?
Kaine.
I don't even remember. Who?
Senator Kaine from Ohio.
Tom Kaine. What was his name?
Tim Kaine.
Tim Kaine.
Virginia.
Okay. Yeah,
it was like when she picked him, I said, oh, this over. She done lost.
I mean, at that time, I think I was still like really doubling down on like the lesser of two evils conversation. That's the space that I think I was in at that time. Because like I said earlier in the pod, this my ideas of what Republican policies were, they opposed everything that I needed, wanted, that was going to help my community. So for me, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, oh crap, I forgot what I was going to say. What was I talking about?
We were talking about now's not the time.
Oh yeah. So for me, at this point in time, you know, like I've spent so much time not paying attention to the politics as it would help the people that like now I want it to be like I'm 40. I want this now. I want Medicare for all now. I want $21 minimum wage now. I want reproductive rights for women now. I want reparations for Black folks now. And I don't see a person on any one of these tickets that's going to check off all those boxes other than Cornel West. You know, like I could probably pivot to somebody else who was running, but like Cornel West lines up with all of them. You know, so for me, even as things look bleak and even as things look dire like they do now, I've attended more Love Warrior meetings and Cornel West campaign meetings now since things have looked harder than I did 2 months ago when we were really starting out when he left and decided to go independent. You know, I don't give a damn about it at all because I think all of us who are on
about it.
A darn about what?
You said the other D word, and I was saying you don't give a darn.
Oh, I don't give a darn. That's right. We do not curse on this channel. So sorry. Give me one moment, son. I want change currently at this moment right now. Cornel West is the best option for that.
See how eloquently all my guests have answered this question so well. And here's what I'll say. Are these people Dr. West's daddy? He's got to sit here and ask them permission. He's got to sit here and say, oh, can I run, please? Can I please run? I'll run. I take this question. I go over here with it. Because he doesn't need, when I said this person, I'm like, he doesn't need your permission because I was talking to a specific person to run. It's up to him. He consults his family. He consults his friends. You're not in that picture. You don't get to dictate when it is. And here's my other thing about now it's not the time. It's never the time. We've been fighting for health care for all for over 100 years.
Yeah.
100 years. That means what? This is 2024. So since 1924, if my math is right, we've been fighting for health care. We still don't have it because we've always been told now is not the time. They moved the goalposts. Well, wait 4 years, or wait 4 years, or wait 4 more years. And this is why I'm writing my first Substack article called "The Democratic Party is that boyfriend that says they're going to do right, but they will never do right." That's the Democratic Party to me. That's exactly what they are. They just keep saying, well, maybe next time, and maybe next time, and next time never comes. It never comes. Never does it come.
I think part of the issue is like we all know it is the duopoly. It is the duopoly. It's this. It's the whole. We're a private corporation, private entity kind of thing, and we don't need to let people come in and try to move the needle or get them to run, and they, you know, because it's a corporation and they can move things as they see fit. It doesn't necessarily help the people. So they think that they could tell Dr. West that he can't run, but they forget fundamentally this country is founded on people who want to change their community. And my biggest issue is that there's so much money in politics that we don't get an opportunity to really even see anything different. And Cornel West is terrifying them because it doesn't fit the status quo. None of its talking points work for what they're trying to do and what they're trying to accomplish. I think I heard somebody say bipartisanship means that I get fucked. I'm so sorry. I get screwed. Bipartisanship means I get screwed.
Now don't make me take you off the air. You were doing so good.
I was. I'm telling you, if my wife was like right here, it would be much more helpful. I'm so sorry, but that's ultimately what it comes down to, man. Like
Now, when
these
I
guys.
come on, if I ever get invited to your podcast, I'm cussing you out, right? I get
That's
that.
fine.
Well,
That's fair.
no,
I don't want to
I
leave.
won't.
I love
But
this
you
show. I
still,
don't want. I don't want
but
to
you
get off
still.
the show. I'm not gonna curse. I'm not gonna curse. I'm gonna.
That was a slip up, audience. That was a slip up. Y'all slip
Yeah,
up.
the always. I don't know if you got your comment section running, but charge me $1 every time something comes out of my mouth.
Yes, I don't have to. Nobody's commenting right now. And I actually advertise this. We get our comments after. We tend to get these after when I share. So,
Okay.
so you already owe the campaign each time. I'm gonna call him Daryl
I think it
because
was
that's what.
three.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna call him Daryl. That DJ stuff, no. I'm just calling what his mother named him. See, that's me. That's how me. I'm old school. So you
Well,
give the
listen. I'm gonna put it to you like this. You're the only person that's ever gonna be able to do that in this space because I curse so many darn times. You get the big sis me. I promise.
So you're assuming I'm older. Well, you assume right I am older. But I'm just not that much. Well, 10 years. But that's okay.
Okay.
So what we'll do is he's already cursed 3 times. So what we want you to do is go to CornelWest2024.com and donate $1. That's $3. I'm trying to keep it where you can afford it. But the question I didn't ask you, and usually it's the first question I ask my guests, why is it that you support Dr. West?
Some of the stuff I laid out in the beginning, he hits on all of the points that I care about the most. On my channel, you'll see me say, I'm going to go with whoever is the best opportunity for the Supreme Court. Who gives the Supreme Court the best opportunity for success or women reproductive rights, or somebody who backs record preparations the fiercest. That's why nobody does better on that list than Cornel West. Joe Biden doesn't do better on it. Trump doesn't do better on it. Marianne Williamson doesn't do better on it. Nobody does better on those 3 primary things that I care about the most than Dr. Cornel West.
Okay,
Real
so
simple.
now I'm about to ask another question. Why not support another third party candidate? Because I'm trying.
You don't hear that noise in the background, do you? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a thud.
I'm so sorry. Jackson, please have a seat. Have a seat. I'm so sorry.
See, now he's telling Jackson to have a seat, but everybody, please comment. You all know that I don't read all the comments like as they come in. I try to save them. So far, we've got just one comment, so just say hello. How you doing? Hey Mac, how are you? Thank you for coming in. So like I said, we've had 3 slip ups so far. So what I would like you to do is to go to CornelWest2024.com and donate $3. $3 because we need it.
I will be donating $3 for sure.
I will probably do more than 3 because I've been doing more than 3. So I like to stay consistent. But I think you just hit on something. What I want to get to, because I really want to narrow it in, is what makes Dr. West different from a Jill Stein, a Claudia De La Cruz, an RFK, a Jasmine Sherman, or any other independent candidates. Because I want you to narrow it, like,
I know it's not like this for a lot of people, but Dr. West talks about it a lot. He starts on the chocolate side of town. That's where I am. And I believe that as far as the African American community is concerned, rising tide lifts all boats. And if you invest in the African American community the way that we're supposed to, education, healthcare, housing, focusing an effort on really doing restorative justice and reparations within each and every single state, whatever that is that looks like, nobody cares about that more than Dr. West. He said so. The only other person who talks about reparations more on this entire campaign trail has been Marianne Williamson. He's the only one. Everybody else doesn't look at it the same. Dr. West has been talking about the fight in Gaza, between Gaza and Israel, more than any other person on this campaign. and more than any other person running. Like for years, I've known what's been going on with Israel and Palestine. I've learned about it from Dr. West. He's been a personal hero of mine for the longest, but ultimately, he focuses his issues. He focuses his energy on Black issues. You know what I mean? He focuses his compass on getting right to the issue that Black folks have been having for years in this country, like years, and he wants to solve it. And aside from that, oh yeah, he's great on reproductive rights. He's great on who he wants on the Supreme Court. He's great on gun control. He's great. He's great on it all. And it just so happens his main center and focus is going to be Black people, and we've been highly neglected in this country. Highly neglected by Democrats. Like the Democrats are the abusive boyfriend. She ain't going nowhere. I'm just gonna keep slapping her around. I'm gonna get some flowers tomorrow. Take out somewhere else. As long as I keep, putting the shiny objects in front of her, she should be fine. That's how they treat the African American community. And I was telling people this. I don't know. I work at a country club. There's a lot of liberals there. I was telling them that Biden's going to lose and the Democrats are going to lose the Black vote for a while. I've been saying that for a while, and they didn't believe me. And now it looks like it's coming to fruition.
Yep. So you know what? We got some other guests here. So let's see. Hold on a second. Okay. So Mac, hello, Mac. How are you? Yes. Thank you. But I'm going to ask you this question. You still haven't said if you're going to come on the show or not. So I'm just going to just throw that out there. You're still invited to come and appear on the podcast also, because I don't have a guest for next week. Anyways, I think for me, I always say, as a former Bernie supporter, man, did he sell out. But,
now, do you have as much anger towards Bernie as a lot of people do, or did you kind of just I expected it?
I should have saw it coming, because if you ever notice remember when he used to protest Obama, like he would have rallies of protests against Obama. He didn't even do that with Trump. I'm like, what? I should have saw it coming, and that's what I think I'm mad at. Is I should have saw it coming, but I didn't. Because I wanted to believe, and he isn't for reparations. That should have been my, I was just so Medicare for all. I just kind of ignored everything else, which I should have done. My bad. But I will say this about people like this, or people who were once DNC strong and now we're like, what was I thinking? I think for me, Dr. West, I've always said, if I can get with a candidate 75 to 80%, I'm going to probably vote for that candidate, no matter whether they're Democrat, Republican, or independent. Well, since I will never, ever, ever vote Democrat again, I don't care. I will just write in the people's names. I don't care. And the chances of me voting for a Republican are very, 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 very slim. If I get with a candidate 75%, that's all I require.
I got it.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I can keep talking.
No, you're fine. My family, I have family members that have been on that train for a while. I think I finally showed up. Honestly, I'm finally there. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Trump is a unique threat and individual.
See, so I don't understand this.
If I lived in a place like Michigan, it would be a different conversation.
No, for me, I'm voting for Dr. West, whether I live in Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, California. It doesn't matter. I could.
I'm talking. I was talking about post this. My bad. I know I didn't preface it, but.
Oh, okay. I'm like, no, I'm gonna vote for. I don't care. Point blank. Period. I don't care.
No, I'm talking about post this Trump issue thing that we got going. Like post that. Like I don't think.
You mean after? Anymore. No, the Democrats they done lost me, because they have used Black people to the point. Well, let me get back to my point, and then I'm gonna get back to the Democratic
Okay.
Party, the boyfriend that don't ever want to do right. Dr. West, like Ralph Nader, was like really doing good. Where I lined up about 90% of what he said. That's how old I am. I was voting for Ralph Nader. Dr. Stein was like 89, maybe 85 to 89%. I read Dr. West's platform, and there's literally nothing that I disagree with. Nothing like, well, he could have did this better, or he could have said that better. It's literally 100%. I have never had that happen. Never, ever. This is like the first time in my electoralizing, I don't know what the word is, voting life that's ever happened where I'm 100% with a candidate. Never happened.
I think I'm a very practical man. I'm a very logical person. I think I try to be like, I'm not trying to be hypocritical at all. It's just I think it's gonna go with each moment. You know, like I don't know for sure because Dr. West is in the race. So for me, it was a no-brainer. The second he touched down, I was it. Didn't matter what it was. Now, after Dr. West, I'm not sure. Maybe the Democrats get their swat together. You know, like what I did there.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but they're not. No, because what they'll do is in our vein, when Dr. West wins this election, and I didn't say. Notice I didn't say if. I didn't say if because this show ain't called congratulations. If the 47 this no. This is congratulations to the 47th president of the United States, Dr. Cornel West. When he wins, first of all, they gonna sue because they can't take losses. Like sitting down. You already saw what the Trump people did when they lost. Them people went to D.C. and tore that place upside down. This gonna go through the courts because they can't take a loss critically, and then they're gonna probably pass laws at state levels to make it harder for third-party candidates to win again, just like they did when Ross Perot got to 20%. So it's gonna be a revenge tour, but we've got to be prepared for that because that's how petty the two-party system. Well, I call it one party because it's really they're just alike. They're just two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, two wings on the same bird. I mean, honestly, it is one of those. This is I think the only time we're gonna have a real opportunity because they're gonna try to pull the ladder up. They're gonna try to pull the ladder up for sure. I just have faith in humanity. I'm not gonna lie. I do. I have faith in my countrymen. I genuinely do. I know good. Like I'm in West Virginia, and it's a real red place. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I got people in my family who are never going to come to my side. I got to deal with that. And the only thing I could really do is continuously do things like this and like my podcast and go out and try to get people to vote is hammer it home that we are on the same team and then hopefully change these states one state at a time. That's a grandiose like plan and
Well, it's one
idea.
person at a time. You reach one person, that one person reaches one person,
Right.
that one person reaches one person. That's where it starts.
But
But
we don't
yeah.
have to. I reject this idea that we can't change these people's minds in the Democratic Party. Like I know that is a lot of money and it's all, but I think if we put our feet on the ground and commit to this for the next 15, 20 years, we can get real change because I mean, we even say it's a moment in a movement. You see what I'm saying? Cornel West is very aware that he's a part of something that is going to change America. And that's the mindset that I think the reason why me and you are on these calls, the reason why we campaign for Dr. West, and Dr. West it's not like Dr. West is at every single meeting, you know? He understands, and I think we all understand this is an opportunity for us to bring our collective voices together to get real change for all the things we're on the same page about, you know?
right, because before he got in, I'm telling you now, I was just like, I guess I'll vote for Marianne if I had to go through the Democratic way, or I'm like, I might vote for Jill. I mean, I
understand that.
I was just like, oh boy. And then when when Dr. West announced he's running, it was like I had a good cup of coffee. I'm like, oh, I'm voting now. Oh, I'm in now. I'm in. Now I got somebody to campaign for. Now I got somebody to literally, I gather signatures. I have never, ever gotten into the streets and I say these streets, to gather signatures for. I didn't do it for Ralph Nader. I didn't do it. Well, Ralph Nader twice. I didn't vote for Jill Stein for some reason, but there's never been a candidate that's gotten my attention like Dr. West has. I'm so glad that he's in the race. Um, and like I said, I was going to write my article about the Democratic Party is that boyfriend that doesn't want to do right. It always amazes me, and I'm talking about black people now, so nobody get mad, that the party just uses us, doesn't give us anything, and we'll just go right back and vote for them. I need somebody to explain this to me because I don't understand it. I literally cannot understand it.
I mean, I could tell you my reasons why I understand it, and I can tell you what I hear from people who I talk to on the ground. My reasons and why I understand it is because I don't want to say that we all concerned that Republicans are crazy enough to take us back to slavery. I don't think it's that. But they waited 50 years quietly and silently to overturn Roe v. Wade. Now, I don't know where you stand on it. For me personally, I don't want to be a part of the social contract that involves me telling women what to do with their bodies.
Absolutely.
As a man and as a human being, I have no interest in that. But to see the calculated moves that they take, to see the patience for, and then when you hear the extreme views, like I know you know about the lieutenant governor in North Carolina. You know about this dude, big black dude, conservative dude. God, I forget his name. I've been watching him for a while. Everybody's picking up on him now, right? Everybody's talking about him now because he's actually running for governor in North Carolina. But we've been watching his crazy coon behind for a while. And me personally, it's that kind of rhetoric that lends credit to those who actually do it. Now, do I think that he'll actually pull it off like that crazy Republican dude, black dude who's running for governor? No. But I think there are people who say, listen,
it's either me or him,
right? Oh, and like it's been like this black guy is okay with it, or this immigrant person who this person who's a first generation immigrant's okay with it. So for me, I understand why people will say there's no way in hell I'm voting for. I have sorry,
that's
no way in heck. I didn't know that was a curse. My bad. Everybody says it around me, but there's no way in the world that I'm going to vote for this man. This like a Republican or Trump or in my state like a Patrick Morrissey or somebody like that. They're not going to vote for him because he will never invest in social programs. He will never try to accept more money in order for our schools to get better. He'll never increase what's the you used to call it food stamps when I was a kid. $4, dang. They'll never do it. So the only thing I have to do is to vote for. Like I have no choice. I'm not running. You see what I'm saying? So I get that logic.
Yeah, Dr. West is a whole lot better than me because we're about to get to my next point. This isn't even a sub point. You remember when Dr. West, Harlan Crow, donated $3,300?
Yeah.
And the left was all, he shouldn't have took it. Let me tell you what I would have did. Not only would I have taken that money, because if you're a white supremacist and you're going to give me $3,000 to run against you, I'm taking it every single time. I'd have bent over, because see, this is why I can't really run for office, and told them what they could kiss. That's me. See, Dr. West is an intellectual, so he's not going, he's not going to put it down where he should put it down.
I think what it was Dr. West had a lot of people around him who thought that it was a bad idea, and nobody around him like us who would have said, put that money in the bank because we're gonna have people that you're gonna need to pay. We're gonna have text messages that we're gonna need to get out.
Yeah, we're gonna have
people that we're gonna need to feed. We're gonna have and if it really is what Dr. West says, which is I'm not going to be beholden to anybody that pays. This is my campaign. This is my presidency. Then he should have just left it at that and told everybody to kick rocks.
That's what I
would
said.
have
I'm
done.
like, look, that's what I would have done. And he should have given. I'm glad he gave back.
For
No,
what?
that's the
No, for
that's
what? It's
literally
it's
the
no purity
only.
test.
That's literally the only thing I'm like. I see why he did it, and of course, it's his decision. It's his campaign. He
Yeah.
can run it. He's got people that are telling him how to run the campaign the way that they're saying. But Tracy, Tracy would have took that money.
Yeah.
Tracy would have took it and said, "Oh, your problem is what? It's $3,300. What you buying? You can't buy anything. You can't. What can you buy
Correct.
for $3,300? What is it out here you buying for $3,300?
If you can buy Dr. West for $3,300, then you shouldn't be following the campaign.
You really shouldn't.
Tell me believe
For
in this
real.
campaign. If
Oh,
you
that
think
one
that he was bought by
for
Harlan Crow's
$3,300.
$3,300, no, maxed out his campaign contribution because he knew him, right? Like the Harlan Crow does not have your and my interest at heart.
Yeah,
but he knows Dr. West enough to know, say, I believe in this brother. I believe in this brother's campaign. Maybe he will win. Maybe he won't. But I'll put the max I can contribute. And I think it was a moment where, for me, I wanted to see more toughness out of Dr. Cornel West. I wanted him to stand up to the critics. Just like he's doing
That's
now.
$5 now. How much is DJ gonna get up to?
It haven't been the real ones. It's just been like the peripheral ones.
Peripheral counts in Tracy media language.
This is true, but it's not. You making me forget what I was gonna say. I just think that it's one of those things where we need to have a stiffer spine because the people who are fighting against us have they tough as nails, and they've been investing into these kind of their conservative communities, and they've been putting energy into the Turning Point USAs for a very long time. We are behind. And there is money in politics. So until Dr. West takes money out of politics, we need to get busy. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that means money.
Now
I don't believe in being a broke revolutionary. That's corny to me.
Yeah, absolutely. You owe $5 now. Just wanted to let you know. But here comes
my wife is gonna love this stream. My wife is gonna love this stream.
Everybody should love this stream. Everybody should like this stream and share it. And I'm going to issue a challenge at the end of the show that I've never issued, especially to all Dr. West fans, all his fans, supporters, not fans. He's not a musician. Although he did record an album. But okay, never mind. So we're going to get to the third one. This is the one I have to watch it because I say there's no cussing. But this one,
you about to
I almost had to remember. I'm like, oh, it makes me so mad because it's so deeply rooted in racism. It literally is just one of the things that I'm just like, when I heard it, I'm like, this is the best y'all can do. Dr. West can't be president because he owes child support. And if he can't take care of his children, why should I trust him to take care of the country? Keep in mind this. Dr. West probably has at least one child my age. At least one child.
Yeah.
And I just told you.
Let me take this toy away from my child and I'll answer that question. I'm so sorry. Let me take this toy away.
It is the most black men can't take care of their responsibilities types of questions, criticisms. Like if you're going to have a criticism of Dr. West, like, how could you? But, okay, I guess you could. I guess you could say, he makes too many jazz references or something like that. But this one to me is so rooted in racism. It's like a black man can't take care of his responsibility. What are you trying to say? No, I know what you're trying to say. And it just makes me so angry because the media perpetuates this stereotype of black men that I cannot stand.
On that note, I gotta tell you, I know dozens, if not hundreds, of great men who have back child support and they didn't pay it because they're not good dads or not because they're responsible. It's because of whatever has happened in their life put them in a space to where they could not pay child support. I mean, you hear this talking point on David Pakman a lot, like a lot.
Why did you mention his name? See, now you're gonna get me to cuss.
Oh, I'm not.
See, now you're gonna get me to cuss. See,
what am I gonna do to get you to curse? David Pakman. If I get you to curse one time, we get up to $6.
Who? That little screech of a peasant fool makes me so. If I don't believe in violence, I don't. He has a right to his stupid, narrow, racist opinions. He's an American. He can say that.
It's an anti-blackness that he I don't even think that he kind of really sees. I think he has an anti-black blind spot.
Oh, you mean him and Jimmy Dore? Oh, shut up, Tracy.
Oh, Jimmy Dore is just 100%. Like, he's just racist to me.
Woo-wee! I'm gonna be quiet. See, now I'm gonna stop. I'll break my own rule. Don't break your own rule, Tracy.
To answer your question, I know hundreds of just really, 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 really good brothers who owe back child support. They pay it, but it doesn't mean that they shouldn't run a business. It doesn't mean that they aren't good teachers. It doesn't mean that they aren't great doctors. It doesn't mean any of that stuff. So it's a way for people to say you're the irresponsible black guy trope, and that's not going to work for me. And then secondly, if you're one of those people who, yeah, you don't want to vote for Joe Biden because of how we all feel about Joe Biden, but then you say you're going to vote for Trump, well, that brother definitely ain't paying his bills. Excuse me. He's definitely not paying his bills. He wasn't paying his bills.
You said brother, so that's okay. You said brother.
Yeah. That brother, he definitely not paying his construction companies, and he probably got 4 kids he ain't paying child support on. And I mean, Daddy, the things that come. Excuse me. Daddy. This is my son. This is the person that has been
you're so cute.
Not stopping. He has not stopped making noise the entire time. He lives literally inside of this side of my body. He never leaves me. So he just. What's up? What can I help you with? The dog's barking. Yeah, go check, see who that is, and just let them know I'm down here recording, and that I'll be up shortly. If you're one of those people who believe that Donald Trump is a good candidate, and you're not paying attention to the list of things that make him an irresponsible human being, I can't hear you. I'm listening, but there's nothing substantive landing over here because it's hypocrisy.
And have we ever heard any of his? How many children does Dr. West have? 4 or 3?
Oh, I've never known. I've never.
I know he has at least 1 child. No, he has 2 children at least. Because I saw his daughter. She's like way young. I'm like, okay, but she's like in her late 20s. And I know he has a son. He may have 3 children. Let's just say Dr. West has at least 2 children. Oh, he has 2 children. Thank you. Have we heard either one of these children say, no, he's a terrible dad? Have we ever said, they ain't said nothing. And don't you know the media would love that if either one of those children said, hey, this is.
Have you even heard of a disgruntled baby mama?
Yeah, you've never heard it. And I know Dr. West has been married 3 times. I know that much. Okay. Have you ever heard his other 2 ex-wives say he was the worst husband? All he did was cheat on me, and all he did. No. We know Donald Trump. Shut up, Tracy. Shut up, Tracy. Shut up, Tracy. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. So I'm going to go to the next comments before I get to them because we got a lot of comments coming in. See, sometimes I'm trying to. I be trying, but there's certain people's names you bring up. I'll be like, I'm gonna cuss. I know I am. David Pakman.
Come on. No, listen. Here's the thing. But this is what I mean about. This is why I love the Dr. West campaign, because Dr. West can see somebody like that dude that you can't, who shall not be named on this stream. Dr. West will see a person like that and still see his value, still speak.
That's why I said he's better because I was pink as a candidate.
Well, because in a lot of instances, if you want to talk, there are some instances where these people do good work. We don't necessarily ideologically agree or line up. I listen to all of the shows. I watch all of them, from everybody from the big guys down to you and me. But Dr. West is really, really good at pointing out the humanity. And I think people have a blind spot of anti-blackness that they really don't understand and see because they first generation immigrant. They just all they care about is getting to the bag or whatever reason you want to come up with. But they'll continue to spew these comments like, well, if he can't take care of his child, why should I expect him to be able to balance the budget and blah, blah, blah. Like, brother, we are talking about two humongous different things that we're talking about here. Like, Dr. West running the country and being the leader of the free world has nothing to do with whatever happened to the reason why this man did not pay child support however many years ago. If you want to hold that against them, fine. But then hold the litany of things.
But
like
you
support Joe Biden.
But you never heard
about everything Joe Biden does. Sorry. Go ahead.
But you never heard you haven't heard his ex-wives say that he didn't pay child support, and you never heard his children say it. But yet this keeps going. Mark Robinson is the person in North Carolina you were talking about.
That's who it is. I mean, I'm telling you, I have a hard problem. Like, I don't like to call black folks coons. Like, I'm all about like solidarity. If you go to my channel, Center Podcast on YouTube, you will notice I am about solidarity. Give me 1 second, son. I'm about all solidarity, and I don't like to call black folks coons. But that brother is pandering harder than Herschel Walker, and it's killing me. It's killing me.
But you need to add some Democrats to the list. But hey, I'm giving myself an invite to your podcast. Have me on because I can name some Democratic black people that sure enough need to be on that list. Jimmy Dore is alleged, right? No, he's not alleged. No, Mac. He all the way there.
I have a problem with. I'm always like my ears go up every time people tell me they come from like a cop family. Like even black cops, like it just makes me think like there's a bias.
Oh, my cousin is a cop. Really yeah, my cousin.
I got family members that's cops, but at the end of the day, I mean, I used to do corrections, and I understand the difference in what it's like to be a civilian versus being in law enforcement. But at the same time, man, Jimmy Dore comes from a real like that interview with Jimmy and Dr. Cornel West was just downright disrespectful, and I couldn't understand why people were okay with that. If you supported Dr. West in any way, shape, or form, I didn't understand how you looked at that interview and didn't walk away thinking Jimmy's a disgusting human being.
I stopped watching it. I literally stopped. I was like, I can't watch this because I don't. It's not that let me because I gotta talk to some people that say I do this because I'm about to bring up somebody's name that people don't like on this channel. I do not idolize Dr. West. There's only.
You shouldn't.
No, wait a minute, because, I'm getting to a point here. There's only one person that I idolize. I call him Jesus. You call him whatever you want. That's what I call him. And basically, him, perfect. Dr. West, not. However, Dr. West is Christian, and he will be the first one to tell you that. Because people say, oh, you idolize. No, I don't. No, let me tell you who I idolize. Let me tell you who. Let me see. I don't want it. Tomorrow is Sunday, not today. Tomorrow, Sunday. I'll save all that for tomorrow. But I just had to get that out.
I get it.
But
I'd be wary of anybody that idolizes Dr. West. Anybody that's working on our campaign and that just thinks that rainbows shine out of his butt and that he can do no wrong or that he won't disappoint you. I think you're being naive.
You need to take some wake up juice and drink it. I am God. I am. How much did those who complained donated? 0. They should have replaced it. They not because what they want to do is they want to criticize because they're scared. That's what they are. They're scared. DJ said it better than me. They're scared, so they want to come up with any type of he shouldn't have took it. He should wear more than black suits. He should get a haircut. I mean, just any little thing.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear the one about, why would we vote for a president who looks like that? I'm like, yo, bro, listen. like,
do you see how I look? I looked, and I literally got my hair done today. All the curls done fell out.
Girl, we are in the era of Trump. He walks around with orange makeup on all day.
And a swoop.
All day. Yeah.
A swoop.
All day long. It
You
just
should
like,
get a
man,
haircut. I'm like, you really tripping? I would rather have a president
bro.
that looks exactly like Cornel West than one that sends billions of dollars to condone genocide. How about
Correct.
that? How about that?
Correct.
He could have.
Correct.
I will buy him Afro pics. I don't care. I
Girl,
said this.
you get on the campaign trail with him, start braiding his hair.
No, I
Whatever.
can't braid. I can't braid. I
You can't
cannot.
braid?
I do not know how to braid hair.
Oh man, girl. We all right, well,
I don't.
I understand. It's all under I
I have
understand.
no children, so
My,
there's no reason for me to learn.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Nieces,
But
nephews, none of that. You ain't
I have nieces and nephews, but I don't.
they ain't never wanted their hair braided.
That's
I
what
got
they have mothers for and
I
fathers
got
for.
I got tons of sisters that done pop me in the head with a comb. So like,
No, I mean it's just so ridiculous. And here's one. This is not on my list, but I'm going to try to put them there. I have a lot of respect for Dr. West, and then they say the most disrespectful. Oh, this one gets on my nerves. It gets on my nerves. I'm like, you don't respect somebody if you're saying the stuff that you're saying.
Well, he doesn't believe in what they believe in, right? They looking for those people looking for a confirmation bias. Like I didn't come on this show expecting to agree with everything that you said. In fact, my whole show is centered around people with different ideas coming to the center and figuring it out. I don't understand those kind of folks. Oh, I respect Dr. West, but I'm gonna say something disrespectful for I don't know about other people, but I'll call people out for who they are. I have lost so much respect for our brothers and sisters at Revolutionary Blackout because it's obviously just anger at this point, right? Like they said it, right? Jimmy said it, they said it. You're not listening to me. You should have listened to me. You're not listening to me, and F you. See what I did there? And that's what, like, to me, it makes absolutely no sense because my mind doesn't work that way, and especially when it comes to politics. When we go out there and try to get people to vote and knock on their doors, we have to be fluid. We could be talking to somebody that's on our side and somebody that's completely right, or somewhere north or south, whatever it is. I never expected so much disrespect or the acceptance of disrespect towards a person who put so much time into human beings in this country.
I
You
did.
see what I'm saying? Like, I didn't.
Yeah, you read that comment too. I'm like, see, we try not to. I try to keep this show because people. I'm gonna get to my next one. When people ask,
Yeah.
do you want Dr. West on the show? I would love nothing more. Here comes my however. I'm too street. Dr. West is an intellectual. Tracy has comments. She leaves off her G's on her words. I don't put G's on my words when it has a G. I just say nothing. That's just how I talk. But if you're listening, Dr. West, if you're listening,
come to Tracy Carson show, please, sir.
Because you'll laugh. But what
Yeah.
I don't get the whole appearance thing. What? That's what you're going for? I'd rather have him with holes in his shoes, dirty clothes, not taking a bath, than to have a president that literally says, if Medicare for all comes across my desk, I'll veto it.
Yeah, that was Biden, right?
That was Biden.
Yeah.
That was Biden. Trump doesn't know.
When Biden was running, during COVID, right? That's all they talked about was how he was going to pass Medicare for all.
No, he said he was. No, he did. He said on a 60 Minutes interview, if it got to his desk, he would veto it. That's what he said.
I meant people.
But his like the Bernie Sanders are like, oh, he'll pass it.
Right. The people, everybody trying to push and herd the voters towards the Biden campaign. We're saying we're going to get this, 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 we're going to get this. And those things didn't really happen until now-ish, and the campaign's almost over, and he still ain't even passed Medicare for all. I mean, he couldn't pass $6. He couldn't pass Build Back Better because they fought it so much. I mean, the Build Back Better that he did get passed, that they tote as this thing that he did, is completely different than what we had in 2021 when they were talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It's
It
completely
started.
different.
I think it started out at like $8 trillion. Then it
Mm.
went down to 7. Then it went down to. I'm like, is this thing gonna get any smaller? Like that thing went from here to here. Um, but the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one. I know you'll have
Mm.
something to say about this.
Okay,
Before
I'm
I
ready.
ask this question, I'm gonna say Dr. West's campaign got better when he left the Green Party. I'm just gonna say it. I don't care. I'm in the Green Party of Indiana.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
Um,
I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but I agree with that.
I think his pillars they improved. They were more black focused. I'm like, this is what I can get behind. Here comes the next criticism. Dr. West can't be president because if he can't make up his mind what party is, he first started out with the White People's Party, the movement for the White People's Party. Yes, that's what I called you because that's what you are. Um, the movement
The
for the
People's Party? You call them the White People's Party?
I called them the movement for the White People's Party. How you gonna be against reparations? Um,
Oh, nah, bro. You ain't for the people if you against reparations. That's a whole joke.
no. So I called them the movement for the White People's Party. Then of course he went with the Green Party. Then he separated from the Green Party, and now he's forming the Justice for All Party.
Mm-hmm.
He
Truth and
can't be
justice.
president. Thank you. I always get the name
Mm-hmm.
wrong. He can't if he can't make up his mind about what party is. How's he going to make up his mind for what? How's he going to make up his mind as president?
Um, your first question was about the Green Party, right?
No, I was just throwing it in. I was
Oh,
just
okay.
saying a precursor to. I think it got better once he left.
I mean, I 100% agree. I think, for the short time that Peter Dow was on the campaign, he provided some clarity that was probably necessary. But Dr. West was, I mean, if you watch Dr. West like we watch Dr. West and follow the campaign like we do, you heard him say, I can't get behind some of the things that they're saying. They're not supporting the things that I'm trying to get them to support. And then on top of that, there's all these other things in the way. And I think, I mean, heck, you've seen the campaign tick up on engagement, how involved we get. Everything happened after he moved. Like, I mean, so much more happened after he moved to being just primarily independent. There's so much more traffic in our Slack groups. There's so much more engagement on our Zoom calls, like than it was back then when you had, I guess, other people pulling him in all these different directions, not letting him focus on what he wanted his campaign to be. You see, like, I'm not sure if he's gonna run next year if he doesn't win, but in the event that he doesn't, I would hope that he does run again. And this time we got our legs up under us for real. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a
Heck,
whole
he'd only be
another
74. That's
situation.
8 years younger than Joe Biden.
And in this instance, I'm cool with that. You know what I
As
mean?
you,
Like, I assure you, I'm
but
fine.
I think the Green Party. And here's what I will say as a probably soon to be former member of the Green Party. How can I say this? It's not as organized as I would like. That's how I'll nicely say it. I
You talking
think
about
the
what
Green Party.
exactly?
I'm specifically
Okay.
talking about the Green Party because you said it perfectly. Is that what the way that they wanted him to move? He was not comfortable with. He just wasn't. And when you're a candidate, that shows to me that he's staying true to what he believes, and he's not going to be. Because he could have just went along with it. He could have just said, "Okay, I'll just go along with it, even though this is what I want to do." But he had enough, and I'm going to use the word courage. He had enough courage to say, "You know what? No, I'm gonna. This is the type of campaign that I want to run." And his platform, I don't know who he got. I don't know where he found those people. He needs to put them in his cabinet. That platform is fantastic. I've never, it's probably, I'm not even going to say one of the best. It's the best platform I pretty much have ever read, ever.
Love it.
It,
Yeah,
it's
you gotta
black
read. Yeah.
focused. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's like he doesn't forget about everybody that's not black. But you can
indigenous
tell,
people are part of
right,
this
or part of the
platform.
platform. But you can tell he hasn't forgotten, he hasn't done what the Democratic Party has done with their whole people of color thing. You could, he specifically says reparations for black people, of descendants of African
Mm-hmm.
slaves.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but
Who's
you
saying
got.
that?
I mean, and not only that though, you got to remember, like Dr. Cornel West was working on the ADOS movement. What, 4 or 5 years ago? You know, he was. I think he was at the ADOS conference that Yvette Carnell held. I think it was like 5 years ago. I mean, Dr. Cornel West has been putting his money where his mouth is for the longest, putting his energy and all that stuff towards these movements for the longest. I didn't even know until I started. I don't even think I knew until like after he decided to run that he had so much work in the prison system. Like I did corrections for a while, and I got a bleeding heart for a lot of those brothers and sisters who need real rehabilitation. And like to have somebody so thought provoking and I mean the way as knowledgeable as he is, as much as he cares, his ability to connect with so many different types of people, regardless of whether or not they hate or love him. I mean, this is the ideal candidate. And if you read his platform, it's unbelievably robust. Like it, I mean, when I was reading it after he put it out and he changed everything and fired Peter and moved on, like I couldn't believe how
I thought he
robust.
quit.
That's what it was. But he did an interview most recently that I noticed. I think I'm gonna do a video on it, where apparently he had to get rid of Peter. I guess there was like philosophical differences or what have you. I can't remember exactly what happened, but this was after this was like a couple weeks ago when he was cooking RBN. He was
Yeah,
cooking
they
them
got
up.
their you're talking about the Tim Black interview. Now,
Yeah,
if you ever want to see quote unquote Dr. West go hood, watch that Tim Black interview. I
that's a
was
fact.
cheering. I was like,
Man,
yes, yes, tell it, tell
that's what
it,
we
tell
need.
it, tell it, tell it, tell it.
100%. And then he touched on something that stuck out to me, which was when he did that Jimmy Dore interview. How you gonna let somebody like Jimmy disrespect a black man who you claim to admire, respect, hasn't even done? I mean, Jimmy hasn't done had done the scintilla of the work. Most people haven't done a fraction of the work that Cornel West has done 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like 20 years ago. Now I want to turn this into a love, it's like a super love fest with Cornel West, but like I think there's blinders on because people have their own preconceived notions about people and what electoral politics are. And I don't know if they think he's supposed to be away or they just
No,
don't
it's
expect
you
him to
know what
say
it,
things. I don't
you
know.
know what I think it is. I think it, especially with RBN, the only one I like out of them is Sabby Sabs. She it.
Mm.
The rest of them, I can't with them because they're just, especially Nick and CJ. Lord, shut my mouth.
I got love, yo. I got love for all of them. I do,
I
man.
got
Like
love like I'm supposed to love you because Jesus told me to love you.
right.
That's where I'm at right there. I'm right there. But see,
So
liking you, loving you, and liking you, them two different things for me.
nah, I like them. Like I'll watch it.
But
It's not like when I watch
whoo,
the Daily Wire. Like I hate watching the Daily Wire, but like when I watch RBN, it's mostly
whoo.
because they do have a perspective and they do bring interviews and information that I can appreciate. It's the same reason why I watch Pac-Man, right? Like I give you credit where the credit is due,
That's true.
and
I will.
they do put out good work. Like I've come across Nick's Substack and it's not bad. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he has some real thought provoking stuff in there. It's just his takes online are just way off and it's emotional. So I think a lot of people like he leans into that. Like I get it, whatever. But like they don't really. I don't know whether they just don't know many people if they don't got kids because the things that come out of their mouth and how they talk about Dr. West now, it's as if they never had a reason to support him in the first place. It's confusing me. You see what I'm saying? And I don't understand all the anger. And Sabby, I think Sabby's a little bit more polished, and I think Sabby wants to put on a good show and not just make it about how radical she is. So I think that's why she's more palatable. but like they don't do bad work. They just allow cousins in the barbecue, dog. Like
Ooh, wait,
that's
they
all
them
they
cousins like,
are.
nah, let me stay away from them because they about to make me say some words I don't got no business saying.
Yeah, but you Aunt Tracy over there by the Patel side, like I'm not talking to your kids today.
Not no days.
Because your kids
It's
are
like
gonna
I
talk
said,
to you,
it's a difference
and I'm a
between
pop.
me loving you and liking you. Those are so diametrically different. Nah, I have to love you because that's what my faith teaches me. Ain't nowhere in the Bible to about like your neighbor like you want to be like. That is not in the ain't in there not one
No,
word.
I think for me, it's more of I believe that all of us need to get on the bus. Like it's like I said earlier, the Republicans have waited 50 years to pass Roe v. Wade. They
And they
took
were
their time.
pragmatic.
They did not care. They don't
Nope.
care if I support if I'm a Republican and I support gun rights but don't support abortion, or I support low minimum wage but don't support this, like they'll even talk behind each other's back and laugh. You're an idiot. You're this, but they will get on code. You see,
Yep.
they'll
They
get
fall
on
right in
code,
line.
right? And that's the problem that we have on the left, is that a lot of us don't want to get on code, and Dr. West is the only person pushing it. The only one really, really pushing that we should be getting on code no matter where we stand, because everybody, like I got white conservative family members, and to pretend like I don't care about their issues, that's BS. Like I'm with them every day.
Right,
They
they're your
have
family.
issues. They're my family. They talk about these issues in a way that get me to understand and connect, and I feel what they come. Now we disagree on what the solution may be, but at least I know I have a place of compromise within to work. You see what I'm saying? So in the event that I was ever in a place to make social change, like state house or what have you, I know that I could do these things. It's not scorched earth for me. And this is what I love about working on the campaign, is that we are trying to pull in as many people for solidarity as we can and leave all that noise out. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we
Right.
don't necessarily like them, but what can you do? They family. You stuck with them.
They family, but who we? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't be watching them like that. But I'm just saying. But see, there I go
I
again,
mean,
leaving off my
it
G's.
depends. It depends, man. I try to keep a healthy rotation. I keep a healthy rotation to make sure. I mean, I even watch the other side. For real.
Oh, now I do, but I keep laughing. That's my problem.
Oh yeah. It's comedy.
I can't stop.
It's
But
comedy.
I wanted to talk about, and like I said, I got two huge announcements at the end of the show that we'll talk about. But the next point I wanted to talk about, I think we're to number 4. 5 and 6 kind of go together. Um, no, they don't. Dr. West can't be president because he owes taxes.
I mean that's just, to me that's the same as what's his name? That just means he ain't got a good account. I don't know what else you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, taxes are confusing and can be irritating as heck, and I don't like them, but I pay them. I got a couple of 1099s. It is what it is. None of that to me makes any sense. If you can back some of the platforms and policies that Joe Biden has on the books, if you can get behind the allegations and the issues that Trump has with his finances, family, his personal life, all that stuff, these are just things that they throw at the wall to see who's going to take it, see what sticks, and see who's going to pick it up and
I
take it.
told you
To
these
me,
were
that's
dumbest
crazy.
things. These are the dumbest
And
ones
that's
I've
fine,
heard. Did
because
I
when you
not
come across,
disappoint? Did I not
I mean,
disappoint?
no, you did not. But when you come across people like us, when you come to this table, come to Tracy's show, it's a whole nother. Like, you got to talk about the issues. Like, at the end of the day, you got to talk about the policies. I'm backing the man because I believe in the man, but at the end of the day, I care about a set of policies. You see what I'm saying? And like Donald Trump don't got no policies I need or want. None. And you can come bring him up and talk to him about me all you want. I'm almost positive I can argue that I dare you to bring them up to me and talk to me about them. Fine. Joe Biden's got some policies that I can appreciate, that I like, that I want, that I believe in, that I, thank God that, that he's not completely retrograde. But it doesn't mean that I can't get behind it entirely. Like I have to stick to what I have to stick to the Cornel West campaign. I forgot what I was talking about again, but
Taxes.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
so the 6th one, the one that got added. This one is so beyond. Now I said the other one I was gonna cuss. I think this one I actually might have slipped and said something. Cause it got me. It got me, and I'm like, did you literally just say that? First of all, I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm really gonna have to stop watching corporate media. I'm just gonna have to stop because some of these
Kool-Aid.
people, I don't know where, like, do they think that people are this stupid? They can't. And
Oh, some
Democrat,
people are asking. We established that.
um, a Democratic operative literally said, and I'm going to paraphrase because I can't remember the quote that this genius decided to spurt out of his mouth.
Mm.
Um, if Cornel West takes away votes from Joe Biden, like the votes belong to him in the first place, but let's just ignore that fact. If Cornel West takes away enough votes from Joe Biden and Trump wins, the situation in Gaza will be worse, and it'll be those voters' fault.
The situation in Gaza will be worse. I just don't think it's our fault. You got 70 some odd years of historical context. How's that our fault for the 2024 election? You see what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense to me. None.
No, and they were agreeing with them. I'm sitting there like, I can't believe I'm sitting here. You do not know how angry I was when I heard that. I'm like, how is it my fault? All Joe Biden has to do is say, hey, we're not giving you any more money.
Correct.
That's the easiest solution. How is this it's my fault?
You better go ahead and point that at the Democrats. Every time somebody says that is our fault, you need to tell them to point to go talk to Joe Biden. What you want from me? I'm not voting. So is it the Muslims' fault in Michigan for doing an uncommitted vote and saying that they won't necessarily support Joe Biden because their family members are getting bombed and maimed and killed? Is it their fault? No, they actually want change for the issue. They actually want people to pay attention to the fact that their countrymen are dying in droves and children are being starved out and people are drinking urine and eating animal food. How is this my fault? I'm lending my voice to bring light to this situation. And I'm telling you, man lit himself on fire last week. How is this anybody's fault but the people who can do something about it and choose not to? How is this anybody's fault?
He went around Congress twice to give Israel more money. Yeah. Did you hear the Republicans raise any sand with that?
No.
No. And as much as they say,
oh, let's go.
Yeah. So we're going to get to some comments because we've got it. And I kept you way longer than I thought I was. So I apologize.
Well, Jackson was probably partially his fault. I had to keep getting up.
So we'll start here. Max says, I will have to watch the interview that Jimmy Dore did with Cornel West. You need to, for myself, and hear what Dr. West said about it himself. Jimmy Dore completely. I keep saying I don't cuss on my own platform, but this one, that interview, I had to literally stop watching it because it just made me almost want to cry. I don't like it when you disrespect Black Moon.
I gotta tell you,
it was the most disrespectful thing. It's a thing when you're a comedian, you make ha-ha joke, but this wasn't that. He was like, well, you shouldn't talk about being black. What do you mean he is black? What are you gonna do, not talk about it? That's like me saying, nah, I don't got gray hair. Nope, I'm not gonna talk about it. And you sitting here looking at me and you saying, oh, that girl got a full gray hair. What?
Jimmy said, talking about the black issues is divisive.
Yeah, we did.
Ask a black person that. Like, you see what I'm saying? And like, it was so crazy to me because they try to live in this vein of like they're about libertarianism and all that. But like at the end of the day, yeah, Jimmy just wants what every other white person who's not paying attention wants. He wants to not worry about what black people got going on. Y'all figure it out like there's not an actual claim to restorative justice that we have. You see what I'm saying? Dr. West is trying to tap on that, and in Jimmy's eyes, because he's the police. In Jimmy's eyes, that's not something where you get a win. You're not going to get a W doing that. You see what I'm saying? And he literally said it. You're not going to win on that. It's a loser for you. It's a loser. And all I kept thinking about is, look at this loser talk to Dr. Cornel West.
I know, I'm like, how a loser gonna tell somebody they losing? I guess you would know since you are a loser. You would know the characteristics very well.
Like. Is Jimmy even funny? I've never listened to his comedy.
You don't waste your time. There are so many people who are more interested about party over candidate. Yes, every black person I talk to and ask why y'all vote for the Democrats, they don't do nothing for you. Literally, well, they worse than they terrible. I'm telling y'all, they terrible.
I talk to a lot of older black folks.
Oh, I don't even work. I don't even do it no more. I'm like, no. I may have gray hair like y'all, but no.
You got to keep in mind, they don't even know Dr. Cornel West is running. I'm telling you, if I go outside and I talk to 10 older black folks over like 55, 60.
Wait a minute, that's not old. That's in my age range. You need to put that.
You're right. You're 100% right. Because somebody passed away, they was 55. I was like, oh, that's young. Dang. Right. No, you're right.
Like 70, 80, 90. Oh no.
But they definitely don't know Dr. Cornel West is running unless they like the like, you know what I mean? Unless they love intellectual debate. But most black folks that I talk to, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years older than myself, don't even know he's in the race. And I found myself constantly like telling everybody, like I work around a lot of liberals, telling them, did you know Dr. Cornel West was on the race? And they'll say to them something like, who's that again?
I'm like, him.
And then I show them the picture of
I know who he is.
And then they go, oh, he's running? And then they don't even know that it's even a thing. And that's why for me, it's mostly about us creating the structure and apparatus under us so that when we do go for this again, in the event that it doesn't work, oh God, please let it work. But in the event that it doesn't work, we will have much stronger legs up under us to make a real play, you know?
Let me ask you this. You ain't seen no show talk about congratulations, 47th of the President of the United States, Jill Stein, Claudia Day Cruz. No, you have not. I don't even think it got one. I'm not trying to give y'all ideas, but I'm just saying Tim Black was first and I was second. Thank you and very much.
Talk to him, Tracy.
I'm gonna talk to him. I don't care. See this. Okay.
Talk to him.
Like you would. We're podcast. I don't see it.
Here's your question though. So to you, them reaching out to him, Chris had just given them in the Green Party, pulling away from the People's Party. Nick Bronner bringing him on to the People's Party. And at the time, he said he wasn't really thinking about it. Right? He thought about it in the past, but he was like, you know what, let's do this. People want to get behind me. Let's do it. In your mind, is that a plus or a negative?
Oh, I was voting for Dr. West. He could have been in the Kentucky Fried Chicken party. It wouldn't have mattered to me. I literally was like, oh, well, because I was like, well, if he's with him, he'll be with him. And I'm just voting for him. I didn't care. I literally did not care. I was like, oh, he's with the Purple People's Party. Purple people eaters. That's where I'm at right there. Yeah. Don't care. Didn't care. Didn't care.
But my logic, though, was very simple. We do live, and I say this all the time, we live in the era of Trump, and Trump took that party and morphed it into some ugly, whatever the heck it is, worse than what it was before.
He just exposed them to what they already were. The Republican Party's been like that for years. Years.
Well, look, Nixon did it, right? Nixon, he appealed to the racist Southern kind of like to bring himself to the forefront. Trump is doing nothing new. Roger Stone was on his campaign running it. He's doing nothing new.
Trump says the quiet part out loud. Like he exposed them for what they are. Now, this statement I definitely agree with. Bottom line, if Cornel West is going to stand a chance, which he does, then he needs to pick someone as vice president, as a vice president candidate. You know, I'm honored, but I think with my schedule, I don't think I'm the best pick for Dr. West right now. But I understand. I'm just, I'm taking my name out of the consideration, like I was ever really in it. But hey, right. I'm like, okay, whatever. Sooner rather than later. And that's going to be, okay, so here is, and if the ring he calls you all up, then what would you say? Okay, so Dr. West has to pick his candidate, as you stated, within the next, I would say, 4 to 5 weeks, because there are 22 states in the country where we can't turn in signatures until that vice presidential candidate is named. Indiana being one of those. So it has to, of course, I agree with you, being sooner than later. If Dr. West called me, no, I'm gonna let you answer first, and then I'll answer.
Me?
Yes, if Dr. West called you,
I would humbly decline. I would ask him for.
Oh no, not as vice president. If he just called you.
Oh, for what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what Dr. Cornel was like. He's a hero of mine. You see what I'm saying?
What state do you go? Like, he's coming to West Virginia. Okay, so I know you meet with the West. I'm assuming you meet with a West Virginia group. So he says, "I'm coming to West Virginia."
It's my first week. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, 100%. We're throwing around.
And he says, "Hey, what should I know about West Virginia? You know, shoot the breeze and all that kind of stuff."
Oh, I got him. I'll get him up to speed. I mean, that's what I do now. I get all the information from everybody running on the ballot, and I go talk to people who don't want to hear from me and say, "Hey, do you know who's running? Do you know when voting day is? Do you know where to go?" I would give him all the information he needed to make an informed decision about coming to West Virginia. And then when he gets here, we're gonna hit the ground running. We're gonna get popping. Like, I would hold a rally for Dr. Cornel West immediately. I mean, I even checked in with the campaign because I wanted to do a fundraiser. A lot of people who don't necessarily know who Cornel West is or cares, but they believe in my vision for politics. They believe in my vision for what our community looks like, and have said straight out of their mouths, "I'll gladly support you in whatever you do." You know, and these are Republicans. These are white liberals. These are not just progressives. These are not just my family and friends and fools. You know, these are people who actually want to give their energy, money, and time to real people who want to run. Like, my biggest thing about a lot of people who complain about not voting is that they have no idea about wanting to run or how to run. Like, I'm doing all this so that at some point in time I can get to a space where I can make a solid run for changing my community. I don't give a darn about power. Yeah, I don't care about power. Yeah, $7. I know. I don't care about power or the position. I care about being able to change. And in a state like West Virginia, you don't get that without real on the ground Shama Sawant style, like, army of people that will get you in office and keep you in office. So I would love it if Dr. West called me, because I would have a brief conversation where I would tell him answer any questions that he wanted. I'd give him my quick synopsis of what I think we could do, and I'd shut up and I'd get ready to work and listen. You know, like, for me, it's more about creating substantial change for the people in my community, because there's a lot of people in my community that are not progressive, they are not Democrat, they are not liberal, they do not care about none of that stuff. But when you talk to them about the policies, the whole thing that Dr. West talks about, people in Appalachia who actually need help. When you come out here and you talk to these people about the policies, man, I told my boy the other day, I think you progressive. He was telling me all the things he liked. And I told him all the things I'm doing on the campaign, all the things that we support. And he was like, dang, I bang with that. I bang with that. I bang with that. I'm like, bro, I think you more progressive than you think.
Yep. Let's see. If Dr. West called me, I would probably go fangirl. I couldn't help it. Second thing, please be on my podcast. I promise I will intellectualize it up. I will put my
real good questions too. What?
Oh no, I would ask. You know what? I would ask the same things, because what better perspectives? Like, this is what they're saying about.
Oh yeah, you. You're 100% right about that.
Yeah, same questions. I wouldn't change the questions, but I would say, you know, someone said in the comments, hold more rallies. It takes money to do that. People don't realize how much money it takes to hold the Bernie style rallies. That's literally, depending on what city you go to, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars, which this campaign does not have. So I'm saying this as a kind of a feed into what I'm about to say in next. To all the people say, oh, he should hold rallies, you may want to go to CornelWest2024.com and drop a donation. You could host a fundraiser. Contact the campaign about hosting a fundraiser.
They'll get back to you immediately.
Won't they though? Oh, they're gonna get back to you. They're going to get back to you quick. That in order merchandise. No, I ordered my T-shirt. I got email like 10, like literally, sir. I'm like, that's the quickest email. You donate some money, you gonna get a quick email, and order some merchandise, you gonna get a quick email. But yeah, this is the one.
I would introduce him to my son. That's the one thing I would want him to do.
I introduced him. I'm like, hey, Cornel, can we go to church? Can we go to church? Because there's some people talking smack about you, and I want you to tell them. Because, see, I can't. You can tell them. Because I'm just like, nah, I can't. But Cornel Wesley,
Jackson right on my list.
Cornel needs to get those big rallies started. Again, that takes money, Nelson. It takes money to do big rallies. You got to have police. You got to have the streets blocked up. You got to have a place to talk about. You got to have all of those things in place. I agree with you. I agree with you. There needs to be some rallies, but you got to have some money to do the rallies. That's all I'm saying. You got to have some money to do the rallies.
I mean, he's not wrong. I've thought that for a while, but I think after working on the campaign, it's been clear like what our blockers are, you know. And
the campaign is broke. Yeah. We have few resources. Yeah,
I'm broke within the 10 Commandments.
So, Nelson, I agree with you, but I would also urge you to drop, whatever city you're in, get some fundraisers planned, because we're gonna need them. Because we got a country to save. Because the mess is going on now is ridiculously out of control. How much conflict is there between black voters and sellout Clyburn back in South Carolina? See, y'all be trying to make me laugh. And when I say Dr. Weston East, he gonna say, now that girl, she is not. I don't want to ever talk to her.
Here's what it is. I think if you let me answer this question first,
please.
Black Democrats or liberal Democrats or people who like really, really are afraid of Trump, we are going to start to see them turn on us in a different way because the election's getting hot. And I've come across some of it already. Like they look at me like I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to vote for Biden? You mean you're not going to listen to Clyburn? You don't believe in the Democratic message? Like, I can imagine people in South Carolina are so under the thumb of Clyburn that there's two types of voters. Ones that are just don't understand what's going on and they think Clyburn's doing good because he's been there a while, and those who know what he's been doing and hate him. You see what I'm saying? I think there's probably one or two voters. I don't think there's any in between because I got 2 videos on Clyburn right now, and I'm in West Virginia from New York. I've never been to South Carolina, but I know he's like a dementor. He just like sucks the life out of the community. It's insane how you can still support him. So I would imagine there's a huge disconnect between South Carolinians, Clyburn, and the Cornel West faction of our groups. It has to be.
You're pausing because you want me to answer. I don't care if you call me a sellout. Watch me sell out. I got 30,000 Palestinian dead reasons to vote against Joe Biden. I literally don't care what you say. Call me a sellout, call me AJ, call me all you want. But what you're going to be doing is calling him President Cornel West. That's what you're going to be doing. I don't care anymore. I will hurt your feelings. I don't care nothing about him. I'm tired.
Omar said it the best. Like, how many is actually enough for y'all? Like, seriously.
Yeah, it's like
100 dead Jewish people, and then you get 30,000.
And that's horrible. Let's just say that again. That's horrible to have 1,200 dead Jewish people. Because I don't want anybody to say you pro Hamas. Yes, right. Because I've been getting some pro Hamas commentary, and I just want to use this.
I've heard it. I know what you mean, and I know why we clarify.
Yeah, so I'm clarifying this. That's terrible. But the response, it's like they got tapped on the hand and they went and blew up somebody's house in response. Like you asked for much, like
he said in the Breakfast Club, he was like, if you get into a beef with somebody and he shoot at you, you don't go back and you don't shoot up the block. You don't shoot the block up now. You see what I'm saying? Don't shoot the block up because you got beef with one person.
Yeah,
like that's effectively what Israel is doing.
and I got 9,000 dead Palestinian children reasons why not to vote for Joe Biden. I got
Yep.
if Medicare for all gets to my desk, I'll veto it reason. I got
Yep.
where the heck is the economy? 61% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, me being one of them.
Yep. I got three
Oh,
jobs. And people talk about that joint like it's a badge of honor. Like, I don't want to have three jobs.
who wants to have
Like, oh, I know what it means to make ends meet. I have three jobs. I get it. Right. You saying why this is a problem. Nobody should have to have three jobs to make
one
ends meet. You
one
see?
job per person is really the max. Don't
It's
start
like
me.
unemployment is low. Of course, unemployment is low. Me and 70 people I know have three jobs.
Yeah, we got them all. Yes, there's jobs, low wage paying $7. I know the minimum wage in West Virginia is $7.25 because it's $7.25 in Indiana.
Girl, I don't know. I got 10. I have a DJ. I got a commissions job, and I flip tables for a living. I wouldn't be able to tell you because whatever
Well,
what if it ain't 27, I can't do it. You feel me?
oh
Like
my gosh, thank you. I wanted to say that so loud when I don't want to throw this party under the bus, so I'm just gonna call them the GP party. They wanted 15. I'm like 15. No, we off of 15.
15
We
was 3 years ago, 4 years
15.
ago.
No, that was actually 10 years ago.
Yeah,
They just
I
been
agree.
fighting for it all them years to get it to a discussion. I'm like, no, we off of that. We at
I agree.
27, 28,
At
29, 30.
Bro, listen, there's an article that came out, something about $50. I think people want, like, I think that's unrealistic, but I think that's a good starting point to negotiate down. I'm like,
I don't see
we
what.
need 21 to $25 minimum wages, and if you cannot pay that, you should not have a business. It is very simple. If you can't afford to pay people living wages, you shouldn't be out here trying to run a business. You
Or
broke,
just
just like
what you
me.
could do as do it as a co-op. You own part of the business, and then your employees own part of
Mm-hmm.
the business. You could do
Mm-hmm.
that. Well, no, I'm saying you got to
Mm-hmm.
pay them 27. But there's so many people that will say to me, "This one, it's not even on the list," and I may make it. Well, Dr. West has good ideas, but his head is in the clouds. And
What cloud? What are you talking about? Like, what do they mean?
no, like he's reaching too high. Like he wants too much. Like he's aspiring too much. Like
Ah,
like what he's saying.
like
Like the
Trump.
no Trump. No, not that way. It's like the things that he wants. Well, I'm for them, but it's too much. Yeah, that's it. That's the way I should have said it. Like I'm for what
Mm.
he's saying, but it's too much now. So you're okay with somebody working there's no, I mean, I worked two jobs and I thought I was gonna drop. I'm like, oh, I can't do this.
Mm.
I had to quit for my own sanity. I'm like, if I can't make it off of what I'm getting, I'm just not gonna make it. Cause
Mm. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think if we want the things and we want the change we want to see, we gotta reach as far and as fast and as high as we can. I believe in the people who did that before me. Like I grew up at a time when like a lot of black men couldn't get jobs, period. We just wasn't getting jobs. Like they wouldn't hire our uncles, they wouldn't hire our fathers and our grandfathers. And before that, just being a cook at a fancy restaurant or a janitor at the New York Public Library was like a win. You know what I'm saying? And that to them was like grabbing the brass ring. I think it's this country can be the more perfect union if we dream about it and we actually attempt to do it. Like there's countries that are blowing us out the water with just simple social policies that we could have, and we haven't really given ourselves an opportunity to realize that dream or goal. I think that's just a narrow way of thinking. It's sad to me. Like I personally, I have children. I can't think that way. I don't get the luxury of thinking like I got a daughter coming. So as soon as I realized my daughter was coming, I went and got another job. You feel me? Like I have no quit in me. No, and the things that I want in my life are far beyond being a wage worker with three jobs well into my 60s. Like that's like my goals and my vision board is set. And those goals are extremely high. That's the only way I'm going to get there. I think that's kind of silly to think.
Well, um, like I said, it's
They
going to
should be
be.
paying bus drivers $40. They should be paying them that. That's exactly right.
Cause see,
Good.
I don't have a problem with 50 personally, but I know you say that people gonna look at you like, what did you just say?
Well, to run a small business, you can imagine. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I go to a lot of chamber events. Like, I work with a lot of people in the community, business, and
It's
private
not
sector,
cheap.
public sector. It ain't no. It's unbelievably hard to run a business, but they got people who are small business owners believing that they should accept less. You see, they like if these small business owners didn't think that they needed to accept less, they wouldn't be in the space where they can feel like they could pay people 50. People can be paid 50 depending on the job.
And the
CEOs are
government
getting paid
could.
$3 million a year.
Some of them 6, some of them 12.
Sorry, my light fell.
Some jobs they are getting. Some CEOs are getting paid like 10. I think the CEO of GM. It does not look like I got my hair pressed today, but it's oh my goodness. Guys, this has been a way longer discussion than I thought it was going to be. I have kept this man way longer than I thought. Here is the announcement that I was going to make. Dr. West is on the ballot in Utah. He is on the ballot in Utah. That is such great news. We are up to, let me see if I can name all the states. Alaska, Utah, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Hawaii.
Hawaii's on?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Oregon.
Oregon for sure, but I think it was Hawaii.
So that's 5.
Oregon for sure.
Yeah, so we're almost to 5, so that's 45 to go. So I say that to say this. I am issuing the following challenge to everybody who watches this video and they are a supporter of Dr. West. I'm pretty sure the campaign won't have a problem with me to do this. Go to Cornel West 2024 and sign up to be a volunteer. Get off of your rump, if you can, if you're able, and get out here and collect petition signatures. Most states like Indiana, West Virginia, Ohio, Illinois require petition signatures. We need Dr. West on the ballot in every state, from Maine to California, from California to Georgia, from Florida to Michigan, from Michigan to Texas. Every state in the union, Dr. West needs to be on there. We can't meet that goal if you don't volunteer. So share this video on every single platform you have. This is not about me. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe my page. I mean, I care you do, but this isn't a video to do that. Sign up as a volunteer. Share this video because I'm asking people to be volunteers. Share this on your social media. Most of you all have Facebook pages. Share it to your Facebook page. I know I'm not the most nicely looking person, even though I literally did go to the beauty shop today and it doesn't look like I did. But you can look at thank you. But you can look at me for an hour, sometimes 2. But I'm really challenging everybody to do that. And the other challenge is donate $3 to the campaign. Now DJ owes 7 because his potty mouth, it got the best of him. It did.
I think because I curse so much, everybody watching should definitely put $7 in the chat.
Yes, I agree. That's right. That's gonna be the challenge. So that's right. That's the new challenge because DJ decided he didn't want to listen to Tracy's rule, and she asked very nicely.
She definitely did, y'all.
$7. Put $7 to the campaign, and very, very last one is, and I gotta find it because I just had it. The Justice for All Party in California also needs your support. We know the vote in California, the initial one didn't go quite the way we wanted. We did very well, but not as well as we wanted. So that's the other way to get Dr. West on the ballot. So go there to that website, the way you see it, to support. But that $7, that DJ so lovingly said he was going to donate, and I'm gonna follow. Every time we meet, I'm like, "Did you donate your $7 today?" Because I'm
ask Israel Alex when we get in the chat if I did, and I'm pretty sure they'll tell you. Yeah, Daryl put it through. Like we should bring it up in the next meeting. Daryl owes the campaign $7.
Because he went on and on and on when Tracy asked. But I do want to make one last announcement. Next week we will not be live. There will be a show next week. But next week, I am doing a super congratulations 47th President of the United States, Dr. Cornel West. I will be having 4 guests. And that's going to be a real interesting discussion because I'm going off the table because they've all been on the show before. So we will all sit down and really get into why we think Dr. West is the best candidate. Remember to donate your $7, like this video, comment on this video, share this video, share this video, share this video, make a donation, volunteer. Last word from DJ before I conclude.
Yeah, check me out on the Center Podcast where you'll find more of my content on news, politics. Please get out there and vote. I tell people this when I'm out in the street. All you need to do is get 5. That's all we ask you to do. Go get 5 people informed and ready to vote, and then tell those 5 people to tell 5. I think that's a good way to start. I think that's a good way to get involved. Look at who your local congressmen, mayors, city council members, commissioners, purchaser, like look at it all, vote for your sheriff. And check out Tracy's channel consistently. Because I love this. This is the third one. This is the first one I've been on, but the third time I've actually watched you interview somebody about Dr. Cornel West. I've been loving watching the channel. That's pretty much all I got. I'm just happy to be here.
Thank you. And remember, everybody.
Center Podcast. Go to centerpodcast.com.
Yes.
Center Podcast on YouTube. Sorry.
Hashtag I'm going west. Hashtag I'm going west. That's who we need to go with. Hashtag I'm going west. We'll see you all next week. Remember, if there won't be a live show, it'll be a pre-recorded show around this time, 7 o'clock. It'll come on the same time, but it'll be recorded. We're going to have a great time talking about Dr. West and his campaign and maybe some more idiotic things that we've heard, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly enjoyed this discussion. Have a great evening. We'll see you on the campaign trail. Try to get Dr. West to be the next president in the United States. Have a great one.